What's it like training UFC fighters, and what do you do with them?
Yeah, it's I find it I enjoy it because you're sort of building up to this event, right? And there's a lot of pressure around the event because it's obviously in front of you got the crowds, the media, um, the pressure of wanting to win. Um, yeah, and so it's just like I mean, fighting is like a high. When I think of like high pressure, I think of like fighting,
Mm,
um, and so it's a great. I think like these fight athletes are really open to this. The stuff around balancing and strengthening your nervous system and the breathing work and the stress mitigation stuff, because they're literally preparing for battle. They're going into like a battle and the stakes are high. And
yeah,
I think a lot of the stuff like the breathing stuff and that came from martial arts. So that lineage of like martial arts and breath work. And so these guys are like, I feel, really open to it, whereas some people not just some people are really closed off to it, because as soon as you mention breath work, it can sometimes have like a connotation of, like I keep saying this, not that yogis or hippies. And again, like this stuff came from yoga.
yeah,
This stuff like come from like Tai Chi and yoga, and it's incredibly
yeah,
powerful. But
yeah,
for some reason, we just have this connotation around, like, as soon as you mention breath work,
yeah,
it tethered to being, um, you know,
totally.
uh,
Yeah, I mean, because as soon as I've like seen a UFC fight, if like you're going into battle, you have a lot of adrenaline going. You have the crowd and behind you or behind your opponent. You like. I don't really know too much about the sport, but my understanding is, you've got to try and shut that stuff down and focus on the task at hand. But I mean, depending on the different athlete, I'm suspecting here they could, get that sort of hit from the crowd and behind them, and then get that sort of spark going forward. Is that something that gets discussed with training these fighters, Dave?
yeah, I think going back to that original point, it's like it comes back to that thing that stress is not good or bad; it's what we do with it. So
Mm,
it's not like they can get rid of the stress, because the stress is like all around them. They have to cut weight. They have to. The
yeah.
training load is absolutely ridiculous. They have to fight in these stadiums full of people, and they've got the obligations of the media. So you cannot get rid of the stress. It's about teaching them to have better control of their energy output, and you know, actually, again, understanding that we can use stress to our advantage. We can leverage it to our advantage. We just have to have the right tools, systems, and protocols in place to leverage it in the right way. And
Right.
often, what athletes will do is they'll get into a situation. It might be half an hour out from a fight or an event, and they feel that pressure and that stress come in, and they try to avoid it. They try to push it away, and the problem with that is it's still going to be there.
Mm,
Much better to bring it in, so to embrace whatever the thought, emotion, or environment might be, because straight away you have control.
mm,
Then once they bring it in, we use very simple sort of systems and protocols to intercept stress in the mind and in the body. And to give you an example of that, to intercept stress in the mind, we use language. So you embrace the stress, bring it in, change the language, shift your perspective. The language is incredibly powerful. um,
fascinating.
Shifting your perspective, you can look at things in 1,000 different ways, right? And
Yeah.
then we have other protocols that will intercept the stress in the body in that moment, in that dynamic setting, which again comes back to the breathing, simple thing like body scans. Yeah, and now you've taken a situation that you may have been going down this road, and it may have totally put you off your performance because you would have become mentally or cognitively overloaded. And rather, now you've pulled yourself back, you've taken a step back, you've embraced the stress, you've shifted or you've intercepted the physiological and psychological responses to stress
Mm,
in a conscious way, and now you're going down another road with more control, more creativity, more focus. So yeah, it's that's
cool.
a lot of the work, is just getting them to understand that stuff.
Fascinating.